Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for my favourite thing, a YouTube rite of passage. We are reacting to predictions. For some reason, we have to do it. It's good fun. And all that happens is the ones I get right, people tell me it was blindingly obvious. And the ones I get wrong, people mock me for. But there we go. What are you going to do? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the 8 round of 16 games. I watched every single one on the watch along and I predicted every single one as well. So we're going to see what I said and whether I was right or wrong. And you can let me know how you did in the comments. I think it was 9 out of 16 in the group phases. No, that can't be right because there was 24 teams. Oh, I can't remember. We got just over half or something. 13 out of 24. Does that sound about right? It was over half anyway, which was kind of quite pleasing. But this, in theory, should be easier, shouldn't it? Because in the groups, you get one team slightly in the wrong place. That puts another one slightly in the wrong place oftentimes, doesn't it? You can't get 3 out of 4. It was either 4 out of 4 or 1 or 2. Anyway, shall we see how I did on the round of 16? Let's go through in chronological order. And the first game played was Denmark versus Wales. What did I say? And did we get it right? I think the smattering of quality across that Danish team, as opposed to the 2-star players of Wales, is going to be enough. There you go. 1 out of 1. A good start. More quality across the Danish team. The Welsh, perhaps a little bit reliant on 2 players. Could they service them? In the end, it was a bit of a squash for the Danes, wasn't it? A 4-0 win and the Welsh going home. 1 out of 1. Let me know how many of you had Wales in that one. Let's move on to the Saturday night game, which was Italy versus Austria, which went to extra time in the end, didn't it? Really like Schlager in the centre of midfield. Really like Alaba. But I can't see, attack-wise, them doing enough, even if they can keep the Italians out, to go ahead and get the win. So let's pop the Italians through. I mean, I'm right, but it doesn't tell the whole story, does it? I said, will they have enough to attack and get past the Italians? They put the ball in the net and it was a slight VAR, wasn't it, on Arnautovic? It went to extra time. And in the end, I would say the Italian bench and the star power, the extra that they had over the Austrians, got them through. So 2 out of 2, and I'm right, or I was right. But let's be fair, I think a lot of us predicting the Italians didn't have it as close as it actually was in the end with the extra time and it only being a 1-goal victory on 120 minutes. There we go. Let me know, anybody, on how you did on that one. Right, here we go. Netherlands versus Czech Republic was the third game. Have they got enough to punish the Dutch at the back? I don't think they're the team that is going to exploit the possible imbalance of attacking quality and maybe slightly defensive lacking. No, I'm not blaming the players. I'm the system here, isn't it? But I do think they'll get through. So let's go for Netherlands. There we go. I said Netherlands would get through. They did not. They lost to the Czechs 2-0 in the end, wasn't it? Mitigating factor, red card for De Ligt. So we can play ifs, buts and maybes. If he hadn't been sent off, who would have gone through? I don't know. What happened was he did get sent off and the Czechs did go through. So incorrect. The first incorrect pick from me. Let me know if you had the Czechs. It might be a little bit of a sense of you're saying the same thing I'm saying after predicting the Italians, that it happened in a way where it was maybe slightly closer or slightly different than you projected. But the Czechs, nice and solid, played the 11 versus 10 perfectly, and through they go. And I am incorrect. 2 out of 3, in the words of Meatloaf. That ain't bad. Let's go on to a difficult one to call. And Belgium versus Portugal. I don't know why. I just have this thing that the Belgians can be picked off. But maybe Martinez, Lukaku, De Bruyne, Tielemans, Courtois, I don't know, maybe the experience. They're there now, Belgium, and let's put them through. I mean, I'm waffling a bit, aren't I? Just listing good players. That was obviously what I was thinking. But I think there is one key line that I'm kind of pleased with on that prediction. Maybe they're there now. Maybe it's their time. And there was a bit of a sense in this game that it was more the Belgians' time than the Portuguese time. Let's be honest, Belgians were defensive and sat back, got the goal the whole of the second half. And Portugal went a little bit later. And we've had so many discussions about being pragmatic and being defensive, especially as it pertains to England. And of course, this is what happens. Both sides were quite pragmatic, really, weren't they? This is what happens when you go behind. Then everyone says of the Portuguese, oh, if only we'd seen João Felix or Bruno Fernandes or whoever from the start. But it doesn't work like that. If we had from the start, maybe Belgium would have been even further ahead even sooner. Who the hell knows? We're in a parallel universe. In this universe, I predicted Belgium would win, and Belgium did win. So we're at three-quarter strength here. 3 out of 4 so far as we go on to Croatia versus Spain. What did I say? I think they will create a good number more chances than the Croats will in this one. I think in this instance, and again, it's a similar thing to what I'm saying about the Netherlands, I don't think the weakness will be exploited, and I think they will beat the Croats. I mean, I'm right and I'm wrong. I predicted Spain to win, so I'm right. But I said the weakness wouldn't be exploited. We're talking about the Italians. The Spanish. We're talking about the Spanish being, frankly, the most attacking team in the tournament so far. They're the ones who have just basically, their default position is to pass the ball and try and create chances, whereas pretty much everybody else has sat in when they've needed to, had a strong team shape, attacked, but in a maybe sometimes moderate or risk-averse way. The Spanish haven't really done that, have they? They've just gone for it. And the Croats did exploit that at the back, and it was 3-3 at full time, but the Spaniards obviously stuck to it in extra time to make it 5-3. So I'm right on the final outcome, but wrong that the Croats couldn't exploit the Spanish defence. Yes, they could, and we will see how the Spaniards go in the quarterfinals. I don't want to reveal their opponent because they're the next one, but what I can reveal is that is a very strong 4 out of 5, 80% at this point, as we go on to France versus Switzerland. And if you show me evidence that you got this one right, I will give you a big round of applause, but I think you can guess what's going to happen to me here. Look, they drew 2 of their games, so they're not blitzing everyone, but I do think they're going to beat the Swiss. Obviously, Embolo was impressive in the first game for the Swiss, but perhaps, well, other than maybe the Sweden-Ukraine game, one of the weaker teams in there against one of the stronger. So let's put France going through. What are you going to do? One of the weaker teams against one of the stronger? Well, everybody said that. I was certain France were going to win this one. Honest to God, I still can't believe they didn't. An incredible game, an incredible night. I did say at the start, I kept that in, obviously, for my own ego. They did draw 2 of their games. They're not blitzing people, but I really was confident that France were going to win this, and it just all went wrong, didn't it? And Switzerland could have gone 2-0 up, missed that penalty, and then France go 3-1 up, and they've changed from their 3 at the back that they started with, and they look like they've got everything right, and they're pulling Griezmann out and putting Sissoko in to just defend the last minutes, and it goes back to 3-3. It's just incredible. And then on penalties, the Swiss win. So I'm wrong, but for the storyline, the entertainment value, the brilliant match, and the fact with my England hat on that it takes France out of the tournament, I'm very happy to be wrong. So that is 4 out of 6 now as we go on to my England versus Germany prediction. What did I say? I do think England could do it. I do. I know it's a nightmare predicting an England-Germany game. We'll all probably be left with egg on our face, but I'm going to do it. Why the hell not? Are they at the end of the cycle with Muller and Kroos and Neuer. They've probably got one more World Cup, haven't they? Go on. Through you go, England. Please, please do it for me. Correct. Unbelievable. Look, that was the hut rule in the head, wasn't it? I so wanted England to win that we went for it. And I think Tony Kroos retired yesterday, so I was right. Are they at the end of the cycle, maybe with Neuer and Kroos? And maybe in a similar way that Belgium beat the Portuguese, that maybe that German cycle is more on the trend down and getting ready to wind back up again. And maybe the England one's in a higher position. And that was how it turned out. And a great day yesterday. And I'm sure you've seen me screaming at the screen in excitement. So we'll say no more about that. But I'm very pleased that I was correct in predicting England would beat Germany. And that is 5 out of 7. Now, when we go to Sweden and Ukraine, now remember, I watched the long up to full time, but I was just done at that point. Too much emotional energy and whatnot had gone. So I didn't watch extra time. So I can't tell you the whole story. Here's my prediction anyway. They're very, very well organised. They're very tight. And I think quite simply, they will have enough to shut out Shevchenko and the Ukrainians. So I'm going to go from getting really grumpy with them to predicting that they're going to be in the quarterfinals. Wow. There we go. Look, like De Ligt in the Netherlands, can I blame a red card? Who was it who got red card? Was it Danielson got red card? Again, I didn't watch the extra time. There was a red card and there was a late winner for the Ukraine. So I was wrong on that one. Can I sit on the red cards and mitigating factor? It doesn't matter. Your prediction's either right or wrong, isn't it? I got that one wrong. So the Swedes did not go through, the Ukrainians did, which means I'm just Mr. Average again here, aren't I? 5 out of 8. I suspect we'll get some 6s or 7s out of 8. You've got to give me evidence, though. Let me know how you did. And yeah, like I say, I suspect some people will have got Czechs to beat the Netherlands. Not me. I suspect some people will have got the Ukrainians to beat the Swedes, but I would be very surprised if we got many 8 out of 8s on those predictions, i.e. the Czechs, the Swiss, and the Ukrainians all in one prediction. I would be surprised. And then probably the people that did get all those 3 will have picked Wales or something as well. So let me know how you did. 5 out of 8 for me. Not bad. Just over half again. I'm just a bit boring, aren't I? I'd prefer to have 6 or 7 out of 8 or 2 out of 8, and then at least it'd be funny and you could all mock me. Speaking of which, get your comments in on how we did. Obviously, what is appreciated in videos like this is a sense of humour. So that's kind of a prerequisite if you're gonna comment. Let me know how you did. If you're claiming 8 out of 8 or 7 out of 8, I will need to see some evidence so I believe you, obviously. And for those joyless bores who will always go, it's so easy to predict. Don't watch. For goodness sake, it's supposed to be a bit of fun looking back at the predictions. And as I always say, the best way to enjoy this type of content is when we do the quarterfinal predictions, which I guess we'll do the day before, which is tomorrow. Join in and let me know your predictions. It's all good fun. Safe to say, very much caught out by the Swiss beating the French. The Swedes and the Ukrainians, yeah, maybe that one was a bit closer. And the Netherlands versus the Czechs, I think a few people get caught out by that. Otherwise, we got England, Germany right. That was a big call. We got Belgium, Portugal right. That was a big call. I'm sure a few people went with their hearts for the Welsh, didn't they? And there were people in their numbers telling me Croatia would beat Spain, and that went the other way. So, yeah, look, predicting the future, hey, a mug's game. We don't have superpowers, but we do have the ability to have a bit of fun and have a bit of an opinion on this. So I've had my say, you have yours. Get involved in the comments. Let me know how you did, and join me tomorrow where we'll get the crystal balls out. well, those of us brave and bold enough to will again. And I want your predictions tomorrow on the quarterfinals. By the way, don't put them under this video because I won't check this one back. A lot of people gave me their 8s on the reaction video. Get them on the next one that will come tomorrow. Save them up. Have a good think how you think these quarterfinals will go. Only 4 teams to call now. Can I get slightly over halfway? We'll see. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and over and out.